Hi everybody, my name is Jessica Holyfield and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at KickFlip's track entitled Great. I do believe that this is their official first track, that they're showing the world who they are, and I'm very excited. Now what I do know is this, that some of the members of KickFlip, or the inception of the group, pertains to the survival show Loud, that the new Six was also a part of in collaboration with P Nation and JYP way back a couple years ago. So I'm very excited and intrigued on what vibe we're going to be getting here, and I do know they have another music video that's set to come out here soon, so I'm delighted to kind of catch him at debut, which makes me always really excited. Let's go ahead and get into it. Nice. I really like that run. Come on now. I'm trying to get that. Come on now. Eee! That's adorable. With the with the skateboard, it's cute. Yeah. And yeah, getting him to switch the head, that was cute. That's adorable. Okay. Nice. And KickFlip, I mean, just like, you have groups like Boy Next Door where they have this underlying image of a door that they use because they're the boy next door. KickFlip, I'm assuming they're going to have a skateboard always integrated in their stuff in some capacity, like Itsy with a Crown, because kickflip is a term a lot of times used in skateboarding. So that's kind of fun. I really enjoyed that. There's a lot of, it's a lot of ums and ums. I wasn't expecting that, like the amount of ums and ums in it, but it worked. Like, it was really a vibe. Okay, here we go. Then we got a fix cam in the new JYP space. I think it's safe to assume at this point, yeah? You can hear the sounds. Come on now. Yep. Nice. Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited to dive into what that was. Come on now. Yeah. Yeah. Cute. Yeah, fun. Love that. Ooh. Ania. Tell him to switch that. I just think that's cute every time. Nice. I mean, I'm here for this. I am all for supporting new groups. Okay. So it feels on brand for the Gen 5s that are coming out. I don't mind it. Like, I don't think, like, here's the thing, there's nothing new under the sun, and I also think that's okay. I think it's okay for us to appreciate things that we like, and I really like the Gen 5 boy group vibes that have been coming out over the past couple of years. I am here for it, and so for me, I like this a lot. It's gimmicky, and I think this, right, like, that's so fun. Now I hope that they research to make sure that this doesn't have any gang affiliation, because there are hand signs that are tied, at least on the American side. I'm going to assume in the positive regard that we already done that time, because this is really fun. I love that, and it's a great way to introduce it, just like Itzy's got their logo. We're here for it. Oh, we love it. Okay. From the top, I love it. We got all of this ding ding, so we're kind of knocking to and fro. I really like that. Nice little mouse, little elbows, boom boom, to kind of recognize that sound. We're here ready to go. And they go boom boom, great. I like the little shoulder shrugs on it. And I love this little reboundy reverb. It feels very bubbly, right? So I like that because it does tie quite well into the types of timbres that we're using in our sound production. Timbre meaning sound context is kind of what I normally kind of placate it to, where it's, or allude to, where there's certain sounds, it's how the sound sounds. It's not just the sound being recognized, right? So it's wow, 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 wow. So it just has this openness about it to me and how my ear responds to it. And so having more of an openness, or it's not as sharp in our reverbs, is something that I really like for this, for my personal preference on how people move to those types of sounds. And so that's really fun. I love how we hit it boom, and I like how we twinkle it in, nice little fingers there, digits, and then I like how we slowly transition out of it. We do this little pulse in our rock and bounce, which is really nice. I'm always here for that. And then I like the throw on this. Now, I do know that we have 3 members of KickFlip that were a part of Loud, and then there are 4 members who are not. So we are operating at an odd number. You're going to get way better symmetry, way better balance by operating as an odd number in comparison to an even number. It requires more composition creativity in how you structure your features and how you structure the formations to avoid people getting hidden when you operate even over odd in cases, right? And so I don't mind the 7. It's fine. It's a good number, right? It's not a super large group, not a super small group. It's right there in the middle. Good. It's just a good size, right? I mean, I think all sizes are good. Don't get me wrong, but it's just a good standard size. It's a safe number, if you ask me, out of most numbers. And so I don't mind the formation structures at all for that reason. That is one really big reason why. And so I like how we go. I like the little press out. The push out on the knees is really fun there. And then right there, I like the ball change, it looks like there. A little subtle, but don't syncopate it. Little shoulders coming out of that. Is it Harlem? Not going to give him Harlem for that, but I like the shoulder intention on there. It's fun using it as a transition. And they rock it over, and I like how we hit it. Elbows go, and they connect in parallel to what's going on with that knee. It's really fun, and they go and so they got used to hitting this cymbal often, right? So I think that's really fun. We slide in. I like the press out there. It's nice with the chest. It's cool. I like the little mouth there is super fun. The slides there are fun. The clap down is great. The elbows are really nice. They brush it out. They cross, uncross. And then notice, you see, great example. There's no one hidden because you're operating odd numbers, so you have symmetry on both sides. No one gets sacrificed to the back. For me, that's always my preference. I don't mind it when you see it in even numbers. I just don't like seeing it too often because I always come from the lens of a fan of whenever I'm watching, I don't want my bias to be hidden, right? And I know sometimes groups, they hide people in the back center if they're not, let's say, the most competent and physical in the physicality of what they're doing. Like the movement quality doesn't hit naturally compared to other people. But then in other cases, there's a functional reason behind it. I'd say Astro is a great example of even numbers where they do functional hidden away motions or like hidden away formations, right? If you want to go be curious in that regard, what I mean when I say that. But here, it's nice because I get to see everybody. For me at debut, love it. And I know some people know some of these guys from pre-debut era, so it's really nice, and I know they want to see them and absorb them as much as possible, right? So there's all that. So I like the body roll there. We go and we slide it over, and I like how we go and we double it up to the other side is nice. Now, they're not the cleanest. I don't think that's going to be their priority here. They would be very intentional in showing that. I'm actually surprised by how not super clean and rookie energy that we're not seeing here. It feels very established. Could it be because of the amount of training time? Possibly. It could be a slew of reasons. I'm very curious about the discussions for it. Were they showing this kind of energy during the Loud, the members that were part of Loud? I would love to know that. But I don't mind that. I'm very curious about what their niche is going to be, what they're going to be known for. It's going to be known for gimmicks, their charisma, stage presence, performance, theatrics. I don't know, but I am looking forward to it though. I like the little knock knock there and like the kick. Ball change to get us to spread back out. New feature. Notice he didn't move, but everybody else moved. That allowed us to continue to see him as our outlier and our focus. Yes, is he in center? It is easier for us to clock people in center in comparison to the outsides, but another component is he wasn't moving as much as everybody else. And I really like how we ended up going into this nice staggered lines right there in the middle. Then we have these two outliers on the side. It's really nice. And they bring it over, and I love that where we press the arms up. Good range choice. And then we change our hands from those little blades to a fist. And I like how we even are intentional with how we're bending that wrist too. That's really fun. Boom and da-na-na-na. So I like the shove of energy over with the hat is super fun. Then they melt it up and around. I really like the hinge around. It's fun. It's interesting. Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. So did they walk on the syncopation of the rhythm? Let's see. I think so. Dee 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 dee. I think I would appreciate it if they did. I think they did. It doesn't look like they deviated from that, so that's cool. I'm always a tempo matcher, where rhythm matcher, where if you're going to transition, make your walks match some part of the music, because for me it feels intentional and it doesn't feel like a wasted transition. That's why I have such beef with basket runs. That is the reason. And if you look, you can see the difference between a basket run who knows how to listen to tempo and rhythm and is intentional, and basket runs that are there to not be distracting but distract us. But anyway, the opposing, I love that. So they go run and a run. It's fun. Opposition is fun. So it looks like he's controlling them by staying up. They're nice and hinged over, and I like how we're creating a different plane, going nice and diagonal there. It looks super fun. They end up turning out of it is also nice, and then they take the hands and they twinkle. It's cute. I love this. Oh, I can't even hit it now. I was nailing it earlier. Ooh, it's fun. So he's there in center, and then they take their arms, and then they go place it down, and then they travel it up. There it is. Ooh, I'm here for that run all day because it sounds so cool. And in the grand scheme of runs that I've tackled, I would say, like, I'm not main vocalist energy, but I could be a good backtrack energy, I think, is what I can pull here. That's a good run to like sound cool, but it's not the most difficult run to pull in the world, personally, because of how it runs for where my break in my vocals, in my voices. That's like on the money. Anyway, so I'm here for it. Little dig's nice. Notice our front three, especially like these two, they are a little bit lower. It helps us see our center. I like that, right? It's cool. Da 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 da. So I like how we have it's multi-tiered in our levels. It's nice. You see your feature and you see some backing behind him. It's cool. So I like the little smile on that. It's cute. And then they take it in and then they press it up. Come on now, I'm ready. And then it goes, great. Ooh, and I just pop my neck. Okay, come on now. So they travel it around and they knock it to the side, which is fun. And they go, great, and they take it over, and I like the cross with the step behind is nice. and they do nice over the chest, and then they hit it right over to the head. So you're already seeing here, this is what I'm talking about when it's like not super squeaky clean. It's all about the range, not about timing, not like point A, point B on synchronicity. It's always the range side. So what I mean by this is, if you notice, not everybody's arms or elbow focuses are all in the same place. You have some that have different hand placements. Some are not quite there. Some have one hand. It's very individualized, very subtle, right? If we were supposed to go very uniform, those would be little details that would get clarified. Not only that, you do have two guys very distinctly clear on what we're going for with their legs, right? We have like a little group of three, and then we have these two with their legs crossed over, and then we have someone kind of in the world of the in-between. So it's very interesting how it's so slightly different there. Right. But it does look like we were supposed to be in unison, right? So unison, the more unison you see in choreography, the more likely you're going to look and compare one person to another, because it's doing the same movement and the same timing and the same choices. It's not meant to be individual. You can tell when people deviate, do different arms intentionally, different body choices, different legs. And the trickiest thing to clean a lot of times comes from the torso, especially with singers and just dancers who may not be super fluent in the grooves or the fundamentals of the style that they're doing. That's a big thing. So for me here, I find it interesting. Their torsos are pretty decent, which is great. We love that. Good sign. Their extremities are not the cleanest. I'm not saying that as a critique at all. I say there's beauty in different focuses for groups. That's just, it reiterates my previous point. It makes me curious what their thing to be known for is going to be. And so far, I like the gimmick of these rebounds and these reversals that we're seeing. Those are super fun. I'm very excited to get to the actual footwork, because there's a little moment there that we caught, which was super fun. But I like the punch out of it. We have my guy come over from that stage left side, looks great, and then they knock it to the side, which is also nice, and they do a little three-step turn, which is cool. I also have a complete irrelevant side note, but it does pertain to these new dance studio spaces. You notice the mirrors are here. Why didn't we, just out of curiosity, why didn't we make the dance practice space long enough to where we can shoot the dance practice where they have the mirror to cite and reference? I always find that interesting. I'm also curious, do they have a mirror on the wall that they're filming? That's another question I have, But then also in the back of my head, I'm thinking, okay, Jess, they're filming these for dance practice, so they have the depth for it. On stages, a lot of times stages, they may structure these rooms for like typical stage sizes, because I know in the dance studio, most of the time, a lot of times, it's built stages for venues or concert stages. They're gonna be deep, but they're gonna be way wider. So I kind of feel like I understand both, but then in my head I'm like, there's so many different logistics that come with the K-pop side, where dance practices are such a relevant thing. So I'm curious why we don't build our studios to help cater to it. But then again, I also know they're artists who perform on stages more than dance practices get filmed. So I think it's like, pick the better, like, just don't fix what ain't broke, film it to the side. It's good practice for them. That was just a shower thought that you guys probably didn't care about, but that's just something I was thinking in my head anyway. But I like the wave out of that. That was fun with the point from him, which is cool. They take their arms, they place it on the chest, and then they fold, and then they fold. So I liked, we're going back to that symbol. Super cool. It's such a fingerprint throughout the whole thing. It's hard to ignore. And I think that's the point. It's what we want. Here we go. Now, we're ending up doing heel, heel, toe, and notice that our torso feels like it got left behind and it got rebounded, right? Super fun. I love that. Then we ended up doing a little reject to a heel twist out of it too. And we end up taking the leg and we rotate and knock the knee around. I love that. Why? Because of what the torso's doing. It's not just the legs. It's the opposition of the torso and how it rebounds. Oh, we're here for that. Super cool. And then they end up doing this little like huddle-like lowered kind of shuffle across. I think it's super cool. And they go, once again, they do a little stall out there, which was cool. Ding, ding, they glitch it, and then they turn, and I like how they are intentional with the pickup of the legs in their transitions. So they go down, and this was interesting, all of that. Let me see. Were they just shaking their head? That's interesting. Huh. No, maybe that sound, do. And we have my guy up top controlling. He takes his arms out to the side. He takes it over to the head, to his mouth, and then he opens up that elbow, and they end up tossing it. Then they go and they knock it to the chest. Really cool. The roll out of it, hey, let's go. The melts are nice, and they go boom, nice little chest accent there, and you have your center. His art is the outlier. Everybody else's are more lowered or subdued. Looks great here. They cross, uncross, hey, and I like the head knocking over to the side, and they go hit, do. Did he miss it? My guy right there in the cream bomber. Let's see. I don't know. Everybody tossed the arm up except for him, which made him be the focus. Was that the point? I don't know. But it's little details like that. He didn't he didn't catch or hit the sound like others did, or recognize the sound in his movement there. I don't know. That's interesting. There, they turn out of it, and then they do a little sweep around with the leg. They knock the elbow up again. Then they do a nice little rotation with the arm like we're driving. Take the arms up, and then we take arms through like the clap here. It's like the little subtle interaction. We brush it, that great. Then we hinge it around. Now, that wasn't the clearest what we're doing. Just teasing. It is clear. The back row is distinctly going one direction. The two in the front are going the other direction, but because we have so many people more in the back recognizing that direction, it does feel like my two in the front are off, but it's not quite that. It could also be a range thing, once again, where the range of my front two guys isn't going as full as my back group, but it could very simply be how they started. They already had their weight catered to a particular side, so they couldn't rotate around as efficiently as the group in the back. So let's look. It's just whatever. That's fine. Okay, so you have your feature over in the corner. That's nice. And I like how we take it through. And I like just how they're transitioning from the side. It's very interesting. They're not like just moving with their body to their next spot. They're keeping their body facing the respective front as they do it. It's cool. I like how they take the arms, place it down. The knock of the leg is super fun. They go finger wag on that, which is also nice. They place the arm side side, letting the torso, the chest get involved on that. I always prefer that. That looks great. And that, oh my god, once again, another reversal. They rebounded it. So that's like a Mary J. Blige, boom, and they knock it back. Oh, I could watch stuff like that all day. Yes, and they end up finishing it out. And they made it more subtle on that. So I really like this section. It's super cool. And then they end up taking the 6, tailoring them diagonally to frame your center. That looks really, really nice. It's just, oh, it's so fun. And they build it up. It's cool with the arms. They bring it in. They go wicka wicka. A little energy there. So you have your feature. He's doing more, it's more placating. You see him a little bit taller, everybody else a little bit lower, but still hitting the sound just like him. I love that. And I like the swaying on that is cool. But notice too, it's like little things like this is what I'm noticing that when you focus on synchronicity as a group, these would be things that you would focus on. Is the spacing between your groups, right? Or your lines. So it did feel like it was a bit of a squeeze to kind of switch our lines here. And that could be a component, is that me and my two guys here are a little bit too close together compared to them next to their outside people. Now, was that intentional? I don't know. It's fine, but it just makes you ask those questions, or it just makes you become more observant, which is very fun, honestly, to me. Yeah, like all that with the arm swings is cool. So my two outside, they're able to get through mighty fine. He's right there. He had to kind of, he had to cheat it a little bit to get through. Also fine. It was just a very interesting observation. We bring it over, boom, little flick of the wrist, and then like, boom, like the accent. The bass on that is fun. They all bounce it around. He takes it and he wags those hands. Fun little moment there. And we pull it back and we bring it through. Boom, knocking it down. Come on now. And they go up, dee. So we go and bring it and present it to those back corners. Looks great. And we go, great, And they go clap, clap. Also nice there. It goes kickball change to get him to the front. And then we have it. We're back to this formation where we have the 3 3s on each side with your outlier and center in the middle. And he brings it around. And then we all end up hinging it over, which is cool. They knock, knock, knock with the head. And they go, woo. And I like that. Bringing it through. The run is also cute. High, mid, low, and then you switch it. Notice it is similar choreo that we've already kind of seen, but the formation of it is what allows it to feel different. We were seeing all of this on that stage left side, and they were all facing to the stage right from our perception, right? And so it's really nice that we see it to the front, so we get to see the choreo from a different vantage point. So it's repackaged. I always love that. It's smarter, not harder on a choreographer's side, but it allows them the ability to think about the movement in different spaces, and it allows you to kind of remember it better, if I'm being honest. and they turn out of it, nice rotational out of it. And then they take the arms, they twinkle it through. He goes, ah, I think that was cute. And now we have it in our two lines. I like that they're facing different ways, and then you have your outlier over on the side. That's always something I do like, is when you see your features not always in that center, you see them on the sides, because it allows your features to kind of shine or pop up more as a surprise. So it allows you to be captivated and recaptivated by the structure. It's really nice. So I love this motion here. We kind of popped out our next feature, and they all hinge around. Fun way to get them all in. They go here, I like that. They were in the clump the first time they did this, but now you see them a little bit more spaced out. Another example of repackaging. Looks great. And they go smile, boom, right here. Great. So they hit it around, nice little knock off the top. Then it goes same thing that we've already saw in the first course we're seeing here. Nice, and it does feel like we're I'm full. It's kind of like that. And I like how from there you had your feature, and then we just did a subtle, just little trio rotation, just like whenever you're like cranking up, what is it? Whenever, sometimes whenever you're, nope, that's not a good example. A vending machine. That's, oh gosh, Jess, think not so hard. Yeah, vending machine, whenever you're twisting it at times, not the push button ones, but when you crank it, that kind of vibe. Or it's a machine that it's making something, you have to twist to make it work. I don't know. I hope you're understanding what I'm saying. That kind of visual is really nice, and I love it. It looks cool. The throw is cool. The accent with the elbows nice. The wave is nice. Everybody chose to do it except for just your feature. He was the only one to do it the first time, and everybody joined in. Nice subtle way to build, even if the track doesn't actually have a build in the course. It's cool. And then you have the little whistle, and it's nice and subtle, and just the subtlety, boom, and then we knock it back. Then we end up going to the other side. So it's the same direction both times. They just face a different direction. Really nice, good on the body, fun little feature moment. Super subtle and chill. He ain't got to do too much because he's the only one facing front. We're naturally going to watch him, but I really do appreciate this sway. It's chill. And I like the hop, hop, hops, and it looks like we went 2, 2, 2, and then it's turned now into an add-on where it went from my little duo moment, boom, duo moment, and then it was an add-on with the trio where he went first and then they joined in, and then the rest of the group joined in too. So that's really nice. Love that. They rotated through, they pull in, down, up, and then boom, boom. Oh, come on. Now this reminds me of like whenever you hear like a people make those bird sounds. I'm always envious of the ability of how people can use their hands to make sounds, right? So that honestly felt like we were recognizing the wah, wah, wah. It felt like we were making this sound with the hands. So that's a fun little gimmick there. They travel it up, do-do-do-do-do, and then they flick it out to the side, which is also fun. And they go, boom, I'm great. And then they get it to face to the front, and they go, ania, means no. And they go low, and you have your 2 in the back, which is nice. So they are placing their weight more on that left leg, and they're knocking the accent of the knee on the right side is really cool. And they're letting the shoulder on that side also be a nice fun moment to make it look more full. Then they build it up with the arm here, push it up, and they move to a new spot, and they go and they go ania, ania. And then one of my guys is facing the opposite way, and he takes it and flips it. Part of me wishes that it was a little bit more like actually make contact to change the head over and not just the mannerism. But in the music video, it did look like he physically moved his head. So I'm going to pick my battles. That's whatever. I think this is super fun. I really enjoy this, and it makes me look forward to their upcoming release and their debut album. I'm always one for supporting new groups, regardless of the company, if I'm being honest. I think it's great. JYP, they have a pretty decent variety of different types of groups for different types of fans. I think you have the super synchronized grouping like Next G. You got the spunky, sassy qualities of ITZY. You got the self-composed, just full throttle, just balls to wall energy of Stray Kids. I really have enjoyed anytime I've marathoned a group from JYP. It's been really enjoyable. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they continue to bring. We don't have to marathon them because we're catching them at debut. Mwah! Love it. You guys know me. I know you. I'm Jess. If you want early access to anything that I do ever on YouTube, it's always going to be on Patreon first, and I have no idea when it'll come out onto the YouTube side. I always hope sooner rather than later, but I can never guarantee it. So if you want this as I make it, Patreon is perfect for that. Y'all know me, I know you. I'm Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye!